Waukee and West Des Moines are two suburbs that are constantly compared to each other, a matter of old versus new. And a lot of you might be wondering, especially if you're thinking about making a move to the Des Moines area, which one is best for you? These are two of our best suburbs that are constantly going to be brought up. Now, the answer might actually depend on who you are, what you're looking for, and the price point that you are searching to buy a home in. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Real quick, I'm Jacob Simon. I'm a real estate agent here in the Des Moines area, covering the whole metro and particularly the western suburbs. I live, work, and hang out every single day of my life in the west suburbs of Des Moines. I love it out here, and I have some opinions about these western suburbs that might be important for you in your move. Now, to set the scene, West Des Moines is going to be a bit more established. It's also going to be a little bit closer to downtown, and it's going to be amenity rich, have more mature neighborhoods, and have a bit of a stronger name recognition. Waukee, on the other hand, is going to have far more new build homes. It's everything else is newer around the whole of Waukee as things continue day in and day out to be developed, and it's just going to be a faster growing suburb. So you might get, if you're considering homes, a bit more space, a bit more of a yard, but we're talking less developed, less amenities. So lots of trade-offs. Now to look at specific price points to help you make your decision. Now, if you're going to be looking closer to $300,000, I am in the camp that Waukee is probably going to be a little bit more bang for your buck. If you look in West Des Moines at that price point, you're going to be looking at 80s to 90s built, maybe split style homes on smaller lots. Now you do get more mature trees, you might have fenced in yards, but in Waukee you can get a brand new townhome for that price point. You can also start to look at single family homes in the lower 300s that may not have a finished basement, but might be a new build for you at an entry level builder. So lots of perks maybe for both. It might depend on what you're looking for, but if you're a pro neighborhood and amenities, and in this price point, West Des Moines might win. If you're pro house, a little more space and a little bit more of a yard, then Waukee might win here. Now, as we get closer to $400,000, I think this is where it gets a bit more competitive, because I think that you can start to see some pockets of West Des Moines seeing some new construction homes at $400,000-ish range. Of course, that exists too in Waukee. So this might actually, West Des Moines might win in this regard because you have more established neighborhoods, more established amenities, and be closer to downtown while still being able to look towards a new construction home. Of course, there's going to be probably far more resale opportunities in West Des Moines at this price point as well, being that Waukee just doesn't have a whole lot of older homes that would fall into this price point. Sure, might get some that have been, built only a few years ago hitting the market as well. So both options kind of exist in this price point, but my opinion goes West Des Moines might win in this space because you have similar options, and West Des Moines has a more established neighborhood and is going to be closer to downtown for you. Now, if you're looking at $500,000 and well above that, this is where your personal preference might take the cake here for you. Now, as we get into this price point, we start to approach some sort of luxury lifestyle in the Des Moines area, which is one of the great pieces of buying real estate in the Des Moines area. It's cheaper than the national average. And so West Des Moines is going to have more luxury pockets that are executive home style and vary more in the architectural style between the homes. Now, Waukee, on the other hand, in this price point is going to be more, new modern luxury developments, more modern builds, and maybe the amenities surrounding these are going to be newer. So it depends on if you care about the amenities. If you don't and care more about the architectural uniqueness from home to home, then West Des Moines is going to win here. If you don't care, then Waukee is going to win here if you're looking for something newer. The truth about Waukee as you approach $1 million homes here is that unless you find a rare acreage or something along those lines, you're not going to find a really old home that's going to have a ton of square footage. They're a little fewer and far between, and they are becoming much more popular in that new build space as we continue to see Waukee be built out. Now, if you have kids going to school, this is going to be important for you. Now, before I even dive in, I want to mention that both of these school districts are going to be very, very strong and highly rated amongst the entire state of Iowa. But Waukee is going to be just newer. Now, Waukee has Waukee High School as well as Waukee Northwest High School, and the school district actually already just purchased a third piece of land for a third high school. So it's going to be very fast growing. You're going to have newer facilities, fast growing facilities, and a lot of investment from Waukee going into these schools. Now, academics and athletics rank very high already among Waukee schools, and I think that, you know, if you're looking for that new school feel, new district feel, fast growing feel, Waukee is going to win for you. That doesn't overshadow West Des Moines. Valley has a long-standing reputation as well, and you also have Dowling Catholic for a strong private option where, you know, is going to be much more convenient. If you want to consider Dowling, it's going to be much more convenient to live in that West Des Moines. So both are genuinely very good schools. They're among the best around the Des Moines Metro and around the entire state, like I said. But at the end of the day, I don't think that you're going to be comparing between a bad school and a good school. You just kind of get slightly different options, slightly newer facilities or slightly more long-standing facilities in West Des Moines. Thankfully, we have good schools in both these districts, and I don't think that this needs to be a major consideration. But at the end of the day, if you want something that's fast growing, I think Waukee wins in this space. All right, now to talk about commute and access. I briefly discussed how West Des Moines is going to be closer to downtown, has I-235 access, far easier than anywhere in Waukee will, especially if you're out in the newer part of Northwest Waukee. You are going to be looking at about 30 minutes to downtown. Now, we are lucky to be in Des Moines and say that 30 minutes to downtown feels far, but amongst the suburbs, that is one of the furthest drives that you're going to find. Now, depending on where you're at in West Des Moines, you could also be approaching a 20 to 25 minute drive, but much of West Des Moines, especially the established pieces of West Des Moines, are going to be a bit closer than that to downtown. Like I mentioned, if you work downtown and a commute is a huge factor to you, then West Des Moines from a commute and access piece might win and edge that out there. Though, like I said, I don't think that Waukee is absurd, especially if you're coming from a different, bigger suburb. That 30-minute drive is going to feel like a breeze. Yes, we do get some traffic here, but it largely feels like the traffic is dependent on if there is an accident. Now, I know that kind of stinks to say, but largely speaking, if there is not an accident or construction or some other outside factor, traffic moves fairly quickly, all things considered. And again, playing the comparison game to a big, large suburb, traffic is virtually non-existent here. So the commute, if you're really strong about the commute, West Des Moines probably edges it out here. But if you're a remote worker or don't care about 5 to 10 extra minutes, then this is kind of a non-factor, and I'd lean on other factors in your decision making. Now to look at the lifestyle, feel, the entertainment in both of these communities. The theme about older established amenities and newer amenities coming in kind of rings true in this category as well. Now, West Des Moines does have the Jordan Creek Mall. It has Valley Junction. It has much more established restaurant scene and more probably established trail systems all going through West Des Moines. Now, if you look at Waukee, on the other hand, again, one piece that we're talking about is how everything's new. One thing to consider as a side note is that there are going to be road closures as things continue to get built out. And so that's a piece that you need to consider that won't be happening as much in West Des Moines. But Waukee is putting a ton of money into high quality entertainment options. There are already plenty of great entertainment options around. There's a huge movie theater. There's plenty of bowling alleys, restaurants coming up. One thing I personally wish to see more of as we get more established is to see more ma and pa shop, local restaurants that are just really, really great. We have a few around, but a lot of chains are being prioritized as we just kind of catch up. And so I don't love personally to see all these chains popping up in Waukee and would prefer the opposite, but just a point to be said about how things are coming and things are being built out in Waukee. There are also entertainment options from local communities like the Kettlestone District, and lots of different neighborhoods in Waukee are prioritizing having really high quality like sports facilities, pickleball courts. We also have Vibrant, which is a concert venue. So I think that as Waukee's built out and a ton of money is being dumped into the area, it's going to continue to provide really great entertainment options. But it's just going to take a little while and a little bit of patience before this feels like it might be even somewhat walkable. So at the end of the day, from a lifestyle perspective, if you like the idea of all these new things coming in and are okay with construction, road closures as the con part of that, and a little bit of patience, I think that Waukee eventually is going to have some amazing options. You're still close enough to everything that West Des Moines has to offer, but if you don't want to deal with all that stuff, you like being closer to the mall, you like being closer to more established restaurants, then West Des Moines is going to be it for you. To talk about an important piece of real estate and buying real estate is the appreciation and growth. Now, this is just going to be straightforward and not super opinion based, but Waukee just has more development runway. It has more population growth, newer infrastructure, and a historically strong appreciation as we've grown so fast in these past few years. So Waukee probably has a little bit more volatility, but has more potential to grow a little bit faster. Now, West Des Moines, on the other hand, is a stable, mature market. There's less volatility in either direction. And either way, I don't think you're going to go wrong. Being in a suburb of Des Moines, I think we are thankful to be, shielded from some of the chaos that happens on the coasts of America. And we get to just see slow but strong and stable appreciation. So I don't think you can go wrong either way here. So at the end of the day, there really is no wrong answer here. These are both really great suburbs. And I think, there are obviously some themes that come out. If you want newer amenities, newer homes, then Waukee might win for you. If you like stuff that's more established, you like everything already in place, you don't want to deal with the lane closures, the construction, and all of the development, then West Des Moines might be for you. Looking at the commute, I think West Des Moines wins there. And really, again, at the end of the day, it depends a little bit on your budget and what you're looking for in the lifestyle that you so desire. But like I said, end of the day, I think these are both amazing communities. I love living in the west suburbs of Des Moines. And, if you're really getting down to it, the best thing you can do is visit both. Thankfully, they're close enough where you could spend enough time in both of these suburbs in a single weekend, maybe a single day, and just drive around, get a feel. I think you'll understand what I mean when you see the pieces of Waukee that are just growing so insanely fast and not so much that happening in West Des Moines. So both are great suburbs, both are great school districts, both have a wide variety and all price points of really good housing options. So like I said, my best advice is to take a drive around. Let me know if you need anything, have specific questions, or want me to give you any recommendations about what to look at when you're driving around. I'd be more than happy to help. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will continue to drop weekly videos about what's happening in Des Moines, the real estate market, and the suburbs of Des Moines. So if you have any ideas for what you want to see in the future, drop a comment and subscribe to see these weekly videos. I appreciate you tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.